Would you like to work remotely? I am actually at Kelly Park in Apopka, Florida, known as Rock Springs, where we are going to work remotely. Today we are going to talk about the top 10 work from home and remote work opportunities or jobs in the legal and financial services space, which is what we do right here today.
Do you want to work from remote places like this beautiful destination and build a real business in the legal or financial world? Well, today we're breaking down the top 10 remote work opportunities in the legal and financial services, including startup costs, we've got income potential, the real pros and cons that nobody's really talking about, so let's dive in.
So number 10 would be remote online notary services. So the pros are that it is fully remote and it's extremely easy to get into. It's extremely easy to become a remote online notary. It is low startup cost as well. You can integrate it well with other services. So now, what are the cons? Well, the average order value is pretty low. You're looking at maybe between $10 and $25 per order. And then there's platform fees that you're going to have to negotiate or navigate with the different, what we call RON platforms. So that would be the cons. They're things that vary state by state, but the pro tip here with remote online is to make that part of another service so you can really capitalize on a higher average order value, like apostille services, for example. Ironically, we do have an apostille course for $47 that you could get into and then tack that service onto the remote online and then up your game.
All right, number 9 is owning a signing service. Now, we are a signing service. We are a Noble Notary signing service. There are a lot of pros to this. It is flexible, mobile, pretty easy to start up. Now, they are high-paying jobs, so you're looking at about $75 to $100 per job. You can work nights, weekends, that sort of thing. It doesn't require an office. We do have a home office, but it's not necessary. Now, there are some cons as well. Like I said, we're going to talk about this. It can be feast or famine, so there's a lot of marketing that goes into it. You're going to have to know your niche and really dive into it. Requires marketing hustle. You're going to want to really know what you're doing. And then there are notary headaches, and I say this as in you're kind of a babysitter. If they do the job wrong or they're inexperienced, they're going to make your company look bad. Lastly, you shouldn't start a signing service unless you're an experienced notary. You want to know the ins and outs. You want to know the price points. You want to know how the jobs operate, because this can be real estate closings and also general notary work too. So you want to be really into knowing what you're doing.
Number 8 is something like financial coaching. So this is actually booming. People do want help with budgeting, debts, and mindsets. Pros, obviously, low startup costs. There's really nothing but selling your knowledge. Personal fulfillment, meaning you are overseeing it. Now, if you package this as group coaching, you can really get high income and leverage. So what are the drawbacks? Well, it's not regulated, so there's going to be some low trust issues. I mean, personally, you really got to be able to walk your talk for people to believe what it is you're selling, right? So there's that. So if you want to, if you want to get like a YouTube channel or something, you can really acquire the social proof, the interviews of people who benefited from it, and you can start to build that authority. So a pro tip would be to get a YouTube channel and start to attract your ideal audience if you're going to be a financial coach. And of course, walk your talk.
Number 7 is virtual bookkeeping. Now, I have a good friend that does bookkeeping. There are a lot of pros and there are some cons, so let's talk about that. The pros would be steady income. So once you have those clients, they're basically on repeat. Every month you've got these steady clients coming in. You can work with clients across the United States. She came from California and she's here in Florida. She has lots of clients all over the country. Scalable with software. So it depends on what software you're using, but you can always scale up, and marketing is always a good thing. Cons. So this can be tedious. You have to be very detail oriented. These are people that have to love numbers. So if you don't love numbers, do not get into this. And it takes time to build trust with clients. So you have to first obtain those clients, and you have to retain the clients. So keeping them and making sure that you're providing good quality service for them. Lastly, a con would be it does require some training. So QuickBooks, something like that, you have to learn it, and you do have to be very proficient with that as well.
Number 6 would be tax preparation. Classic, reliable, always in demand, especially from January till April, right? April 15th. So pros, very easy to get started. Even though you may not, like with the bookkeeping, be good with numbers, with taxes, not really the case. A lot of the software does the heavy lifting for you. You can also get private courses as well as free courses through the IRS. And most of the software companies that you would partner with will train you as well as have somebody kind of look over your shoulder to make sure that you're doing good with that. So again, low startup costs. You can get repeat customers every year, so a book of business, which is also really nice. What could you expect to earn with something like this? Well, during the tax season, you could make over $60,000 just in those few months. But obviously that comes the con, is that it's seasonal income. So it is definitely going to dry up. And also you do want to be up to date with the tax laws. Of course, software you use will do that for you. But what you can do, again, pro tip, is that you can expand from just being that P10 tax preparer, which just takes all of minutes to get, to something like an enrolled agent, which is way more specialized, and you can do things like corporate taxes and even become what we would call a tax advisor for people and charge much more, and then of course have that long-lasting income. So there you have it, number 6.
Number 5, property and casualty P&C insurance agent. Now, think home, auto, renters. This is stuff everybody needs. Maybe they don't think they need it, but they do need it. Okay, we've got pros. There is a broad market. This can be for anybody. This is homeowners. They can be people who drive cars. They want life insurance. There's all types of things. You've got residual income streams, which is amazing. So you put those in place, kind of set it, forget it deal. Works well with referred partners like realtors. So you can make those connections with people. Realtors, there's a lot of people I know that do, they go to like these business mixers and they have these, make these connections with people so they can do business with each other. So that's really cool. There are some cons as well. So that does require licensing and ongoing CE credits. I should know, I took my insurance course, and it was a very tough test and a lot of studying, so that is a con. It is highly competitive. I don't want to say saturated because you can find your little space in this and succeed and be very successful, but it is competitive. Lastly, you may need to partner with an agency, so you might need to be held captive for a little bit, maybe get a little experience before you can break off and become independent. There is a side note pro tip that you can pair this with tax preparation or legal services, and like us, we prepare taxes, or I'm sorry, we prepare documents, we actually do taxes as well, and that can be a powerful protection package for anybody.
Number 4 is going to be life insurance sales. Now this can be extremely lucrative if you play it smart. So kind of the same as P&C, you got to get a life insurance license here in Florida. It's a 215 license. From there, you can get licensure across the country in other states is what they call a non-resident license. So pros are high commission, same thing, you can get some passive income from renewals. It's a very recession resistant industry. So what are some of the drawbacks? Well, it is really tough to market yourself early on. The lead generation side of life insurance is pretty difficult, speaking from personal experience. Side note, we also have a life insurance lead generation course, which is the culmination of us learning how to generate leads to shorten that, collapse that time so you can get profitable. The multi-state licensure, well, there's fees involved in that, not just getting that license from the state, but a lot of times the carriers want to charge you a fee to be able to sell their product in other states. So there can be some fees as you expand into other states. The other con is that if you're not good with sales or you don't like to feel salesy or like you're bothering people, that's going to be something you're going to have to contend with. Now, personally, I'm of the mind that all entrepreneurs are in sales, so you're selling no matter what, unless you're an employee. The boss is the salesman. If you're an employee, maybe you don't do sales if you have a job. But if you're a business owner, you're in sales to some effect, so there should be some of this should come naturally. But also your marketing, if it's good enough, can in effect divert the necessity to be a heavy-handed sales tactics, if that makes sense.
We are at number 3. This is legal transcription or virtual paralegal. This one's ideal if you love typing and if you love legal language. Now, sometimes a big pro of this is big corporations, they have these people on staff already, so you may not even need to start your own business doing this. It is remote and flexible, so that's always cool. You can do all this work remote. It's good for introverts, so you don't have to do a lot of in-person interviews or talking, and it can lead to a full-time contract. So these are the people that are on repeat that will constantly be coming to you for business. The cons are it can pay per page or per hour, which is often low, and I'm going to give you a growth hack pertaining to that at the end. And it can be repetitive, so if you're somebody who doesn't like to do the same job over and over again, it may not be for you. Also, it does require accuracy, and you have to have legal knowledge as well, so you want to make sure that you're educated. If you're going with a big corporation, they may train you as well, so make sure that you are on the up with all of that. Now, the growth hack is you can offer bundles, bundle services like I-9s, apostilles, or loan signings, and that's what we do, so you can get a bigger turnaround, a larger paycheck for something like that.
Number 2 is a credit repair specialist or a credit repair agent. Independent, low startup as well. So credit repair is always in demand, especially when there's times of economic uncertainty, right? Fluctuating interest rates and so forth. So it's relatively easy to learn. It's relatively quick to start up. You can actually have CRM software like Credit Repair Cloud that does a lot of the heavy lifting and the work for you. So pretty cool. Another pro is that you get recurring revenue from customers. Now, a con would be that it takes time to build a book of business. So to get those customers, it's also it's also very competitive. Actually, there's a lot of people that are doing credit repair. The other con would be that you have to put payments in escrow. So you can't get payments up front. You have a 6-month delay, basically, to prove that what you've done works. The other thing is it's heavily regulated. So, for example, in Georgia, you really can't be a credit repair agent unless you're an attorney, a realtor, or a lender. And then, so same thing with some other states. Some states require you to do a bond. So if you're going to do multi-states, you may need multiple bonds in those states. So there is some stuff, a little homework to do with it. So here's a pro tip for you. Position yourself within a niche. Like, for example, helping first-time home buyers or connecting with, say, a solar sales who their solar deal depends on somebody having a certain credit score, and they can refer you to customers. And there you go. And number 1 is legal document preparation. This is a powerful niche, especially if you focus on things like estate planning, powers of attorney, wills, that kind of thing. Yep.
So there are pros. Obviously, there's low barrier to entry. Guys, you could start this up tomorrow, but you do have to have knowledge, and that's the con. So more pros, you don't require a law degree, and this is only in the states that allow you to prepare legal documents. Now, you can bundle your services for bigger profits, too. We do bundle services all the time. We're looking at $1,000 services for an hour appointment.
I would also add that this is extremely unsaturated of a service to offer. And it's an old industry. It's been around before lawyers and the bar, for that matter. So let's talk about the cons, Grace.
There are some cons. So there are, like I said, the states. Now, there are some tight restrictions on those states, and you do have to know your laws in those states. There's some states that don't even allow it.
I bet they're thinking that we have a course on legal document preparation, and we do have a legal doc prep course at $497 that shows you exactly our process for creating such a very lucrative business model. So I would say a bonus tip with this particular industry is to add virtual notary or add those mobile notaries like we do with our signing service for that combo offer, which we have proven to just be absolute dynamite and absolute gold mine. So there you have it.
There you have it, guys. 10 remote work opportunities in the legal and financial world that will actually pay you. So the moral of the story is, if you're serious about building a business that is work from anywhere business, don't just watch, guys. Take action today. Pick one that fits your skills and start building right away.
Check the links in the description because we do have courses that pertain to some of these services for sure. And of course, comment on what you are most interested in like the video if you found it helpful, and of course subscribe for more of these real-world business opportunities every week.
Now we're going to go swim.